This Lemon Farro Tofu Salad is bright and zingy. It makes a great side dish or a main dish too if you bulk up the portion size or serve it in a wrap or over greens. To make it, you're going to want to make a batch of lemon tofu and a batch of lemon tahini dressing. To make the tofu, first you're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil to a bowl and the zest and juice of 1 lemon. Always roll your citrus first. It helps to break up the juice pods in there and it'll be easier to squeeze out the juice. Now, add your spices. A half teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, a half teaspoon of onion powder, a quarter teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 1 clove of garlic that has been minced, and 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast flakes. Give this all a good stir to combine, and then add 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of water, and 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Give this another good stir, and now you're going to add your tofu. You can break it up here by hand into bite-sized pieces, or dice up your tofu into half-inch cubes. Then give everything a good stir, or shake, to fully combine the tofu with the marinade you just made. For this particular salad, I personally prefer dicing it into cubes, but breaking it up by hand is perfectly okay too. Now you're going to want to use pressed firm or extra firm tofu here, as it will allow the tofu to soak up more of the dressing you just made, and it will help it to be more flavorful. If you don't have pressed tofu, that's okay. Just drain the tofu as best you can, and I would omit the water in the dressing as not to water down the flavor. Your tofu won't be as flavorful, but the dressing is pretty concentrated and very bright and zingy, and it will still taste delicious. For the best flavor, allow the tofu to sit for several hours or overnight in the fridge. If you don't have time, that's okay too. Just make it first and allow it to sit while you prep the rest of the ingredients for the salad. Now that you prep the tofu and it can sit for a little bit to absorb the flavors, you're going to prep the rest of the items for the salad. First things first, you're going to put farro on to boil and cook. This step takes the longest, so getting it on the stove while you make the dressing will make the most sense time-wise. Now to make the dressing, you're going to want to grab a small bowl and add 2 tablespoons of tahini. To the tahini, you're going to add 1 tablespoon Dijon mustard, the zest and juice of a full lemon, 1 clove of garlic that has been minced, a half teaspoon of kosher salt, a quarter teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a quarter teaspoon of ground black pepper, or a few good cracks of pepper from the pepper mill. Now you're going to whisk this together until smooth. I like to use the whisk to make sure I get all my ingredients in the bowl, and then here is where you can add some water, depending on how thick your tahini was, as well as how thick you want your overall dressing to be. For the salad, I prefer the dressing to be on the runny side, so I added a quarter cup of water and whisked until smooth. If your tahini was a bit runnier to begin with, start with 1 tablespoon of water and add more by the tablespoonful until you achieve a smooth, quite runny or watery consistency. It should very easily run off your whisk when you pick it up out of the bowl. Alright, now that you have your tofu and dressing prepped, it's time to make the salad. You're going to want to grab a large mixing bowl. Add the cooked farro from earlier. This was 1.5 cups uncooked, or about 3 cups of cooked farro. Now add 1 pint of cherry tomatoes that have been quartered, 1 English or seedless cucumber that has been diced. Somewhere around a half-inch dice works well for this salad. Everything you're adding should be roughly bite-sized. Now add 1 can of drained and rinsed chickpeas, or about 2 cups of cooked chickpeas. Next you'll add a quarter cup chopped parsley and give everything a good stir to work that parsley through. Now add your tahini dressing from earlier and give everything another good stir. Finally, you'll add the batch of lemon tofu that you prepped and gently stir everything together, being careful not to further break up the tofu. This farro salad works great as a meal prep. It only gets more flavorful with time as the farro and tofu soak up more of the flavor from the dressing. Grab the full recipe in the description below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this dish, and figuratively, metaphorically, abstractly, let's eat together.